Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2CTV with your latest update from the United Kingdom. The situation with the authorities and the political establishment continue to escalate when it comes to ordinary people. The attack on the Western values, the Christian cultural values, and the identity of the British people. The problem we have is that for a long time, nobody was defending our values. Therefore, when the attack started, by those who were at best complacent, at worst complicit, those who were, whether they had different ideologies, Marxists, the liberal left, the wokies, and the Islamists, they filled the gap. There's a vacuum. And there is now a full-on attack. Earlier today, we reported on the new verdict by the judges and courts in the UK that was done in Bournemouth, south of England, about Christians silently praying away from, for example, abortion clinics, but it could also apply to other places as well if people feel offended or threatened. This is on a whole new level. The police in the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen, are now threatening Christians, including Christian preachers, if they go in public and tell someone, a stranger, God bless you. The three words, God bless you, will be treated harsher than somebody saying Intifada or from the river to the sea or anything else that they say about people like me, the political left. If a Christian says, God bless you, if the person receiving that message feel offended or feel threatened, they can call the police and the police will be in touch with you. So this video was filmed by a Christian preacher. The police called this person, warning them that you shouldn't say God bless you to strangers in the United Kingdom. Let's
No, but what I'm trying to say is that if it's going to cause distress, and it depends what context you...
So you're...
Obviously why you would say that to someone.
So you're the police telling me that saying God bless you can cause someone distress?
Okay, but if you were to say that to someone who, for example, is a Muslim, and if you're going into their face and then saying that to them, knowing that they have their own beliefs, then yes, that is.
And you work for the police?
Yeah, of course.
So the police are saying that it's a crime to say God bless you to someone?
Sean, you wouldn't get arrested if it wasn't causing distress to other people.
So you're saying, for legal purposes, that it's a crime?
If it's causing distress, then yeah.
What's your name, please?
Medina.
Nadina what?
We don't give our surnames, but I've got my shoulder number.
Can we have your shoulder number, please?
Of course. 71224.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And just to let you know, we also do recording as well.
Yeah, we know.
So the police officer, whose name was either Medina or Nadina, was saying, if you say God bless you to someone on the street, if they choose to feel offended or threatened, you're in trouble. It's a crime. How about those thousands and thousands of people every Saturday in central London in the name of Philistines coming on the streets to defend Hezbollah and Hamas and keep chanting Allah, Alan Snackbar? Alan Snackbar is okay. What if the Jewish community or the Christians go to police and say, thousands of people are currently in central London shouting Alan Snackbar, we are offended? What do you think the police would do? Nothing. What do you think the political establishment would do? Nothing. They will call you an Islamophobe. You will be still in trouble. Now, everything that's been happening, the attack on Christianity and Christian culture is primarily an attack on the Western values. It's not really just about religion. It's about all your rights. So whether you're a secular person or a Christian or a Jew or whatever, you have to be furious. You have to fight back against this nonsense because we are all in this together. Now, this isn't the only example. For example, look at this. Nottingham University. This is the statement. We at the Nottingham University Catholic Society are shocked to hear that the university has decided to place a trigger warning on a module for expressions of Christian faith. This sends a deeply concerning message to all students that Christian beliefs, which are central not only to many university students but also to the intellectual and cultural foundations of English history, are somehow offensive or harmful to others. To single out Christian perspectives this way is to dismiss the vital role that Christianity has played in shaping this country's literature, philosophy, and society. To reduce these themes to something that requires a trigger warning marginalizes the beliefs of many students and creates an environment of division rather than of a dialogue. The University of Nottingham should allow for students to engage with various worldviews and grapple with them with respect and thoughtfulness. The implications that the Christian values are uniquely problematic is a severe form of discrimination that has no place in academia. We call on the university to reconsider this policy and reaffirm its commitment to academic freedom and respect for all religions. The President and the Vice President of the Catholic Society at the University of Nottingham. Do you think they will have a trigger warning for the Islamic Society at the University of Nottingham? If you ask for a trigger warning for that society, you will be called an Islamophobe. You will be in trouble. You cannot complain about Alan Snack Bar. You cannot complain about that book, about that society. But Jews and Christians, you're not protected. In fact, you will be in trouble if you complain. Society is becoming dangerous because segregation and sectarianism in general means there's no unity, there's no common culture, there's no point in calling this a unified society. You might have technically a flag and technically borders that are basically open anyway, and the flag that's not being respected by a lot of people in the country. So none of that exists anyway. But if you don't have any sort of common culture or unity, firstly, crime goes up. Secondly, internal conflicts would go up. Thirdly, if there is an external enemy that you need people to help with armed forces and defense of the country, that's not going to happen. For example, this is becoming normalized. Look at this from the Telegraph. Sarah Sheriff's dad that killed her. This is the moment Sarah Sheriff's father tells the police he killed a naughty daughter in a 999 call with a cricket bat, by the way. Why? She was naughty. He was forcing her to wear a hijab. She was a child. Earlier, the court heard Sarah was subjected to brutal abuse by her father and stepmother and was forced to wear a hijab to school to hide her bruises. Jurors were told that it was unusual that Sarah was the only member of her family who wore a hijab. William Emil Jones, KC prosecuting, said that the fact that she began to wear a hijab in the last months of her life was indicative of the need to conceal injuries. The fact that the concept of hijab can now also be used for these things. It's been used for many things, including hiding your identity, criminals. It's been used to hide bruises on a child. You cannot know who you are dealing with if you can't tell who you're talking to. There are actual people from the Islamic world, and these are the educated middle classes, who would be furious at this. We had in Egypt, I've mentioned this story so many times, there's a video on YouTube from back in the 60s, I believe, or 60s, 70s, Egyptian leaders talking, making a massive speech, the public square in Cairo, saying, at the time, obviously, Egypt, just like Lebanon and Iran, they might have had culturally Islamic people inside, but society was different. Secular governments, right? The leader said, the Muslim Brotherhood leader came, had a meeting with me and said, we should tell our women, wives, mothers and daughters to start wearing a hijab. The whole crowd, the Egyptian society, laughed because it was ridiculous. A few decades later, look what happened to Egypt. all those people were crushed. All those places went backwards. Lebanon, Egypt, Iran, many places. Iraq, even Afghanistan to a point. And guess what? If you're not careful the way it's going, that backward trend is going to happen in Europe, in North America, in Australia, New Zealand. Because we're not careful. Nobody's standing up for our values. There are people, of course. Where is the masses? Where are they? Definitely the problem in the United Kingdom. There are good patriotic people fighting back in the United States, in France, in Australia. What's happening in England, specifically England? In the name of liberal secularism. Where is the outrage? And by the way, if you even ask a question of why people are not really asking any questions or even protesting, then they would say you are calling for an uprising. You are now going to jail. You are calling for violence. Nobody's doing that. People are simply saying democratically, people need to get involved. I'm not even saying start a fight or anything like that. Defend your values. Promote your cultural values, the Western values, the Christian cultural values. It's not difficult. If you stop, the moment you stop promoting it, and that's what happened in the UK a few decades ago, slowly, then there will be a vacuum and others will come in place. Let's quickly get some reaction from you guys. There's some super chats and we'll get some non-super chats as well. Triggered Christian says, thank you for your super chat. God bless you all. Stay triggered. Yes. God bless you, Maya. Don't be offended. I'm calling the police as we speak. Zelia says, next time someone sneezes, instead of saying God bless you, do we say Alan Snack Bar? But that's the other thing. And this is one of those stories, what we're reporting now, that if I had just told you guys without the evidence, if I had just met you in a pub and I told you something like this is happening, you would have, all of you guys, you would have said, that's ridiculous, you're exaggerating, that's never happened, that's not going to be a thing. The police threatening you for simply saying God bless you in case somebody gets offended. But if they say Alan Snack Bar, you can't get offended, because if you get offended, you go to jail. Thank you, super chat from Bonbon for Dictator. Brilliant. Margaret says, nobody, and I mean nobody, will stop me saying God bless and saying Jesus, 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 our Savior. I will always say it. Whatever happens, will be, will be. Sarah. Mark says, it seems Christians are the new terrorists. And there's something really wrong with that. Yeah, well, there's one thing to undermine a group of people. And it's not really just about Christians. Obviously, primarily, the cultural values shape the West and this country, right? This kingdom. But there are groups, and these are the majority, by the way. When I say groups, I'm not talking about minority. I'm talking about majority who are being undermined. So white, straight English men, that's one group. That's a big chunk of society. White people in general. English identity. Christians. Jews, right? Now, obviously, Jews are minority, but still being undermined. Being undermined is one thing. That's been happening for some time now. That's one issue. Proactively being attacked and being treated like they are the enemy. That's a new one. That they're doing it more openly. They've been doing it for a while, but, subtly. But now they're openly treating you. If you are a white working class person from Essex, you are now being treated. Before, they were just treating you like an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an uneducated idiot. Now you are the enemy of the state. The public enemy. Christians, they're next. How dare you talk about Jesus in public? How dare you say God bless to somebody? Because according to that police officer, Nadina or Medina, whatever her name was, if that person is Islamic, oh, well, it's all going to kick off, guys. And if they call Medina, then Medina will come and arrest you. Now, if you want to know where we are with the level of problems that we're currently having in the West. Earlier today, I think it was today, I mentioned Bushra Sh, who is an Islamic left-wing grifter in the UK. She goes on media, right? Bushra said something weird before, but tonight Oh yeah, which was talking about how she wants to see Netanyahu on the front line. So I posted the picture of Benjamin Netanyahu on the front line. This time, she posted what the Islamic people say all the time, because their God is different to Yahweh. This is obviously the famous saying that they have, right? There is no God, no other God but Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. So I decided, in my own way, to respond. I might get arrested, apparently. I simply said, lols, LOL. I just laughed. Now there's going to be complaints. How dare you? If I were to do the same post about somebody mentioning Jesus, or somebody saying the Abrahamic God, which is Yahweh, the God of Christians and Jews and everybody else, as opposed to obviously Allah, which is just the God of the Islamic side, despite the fact that they did plagiarizing, saying, no, it's the same God, but it's not the same God. It's the same God. It's like some sort of a bipolar mentality. Like, yeah, we mentioned Jesus and Abraham, but it's not the same God. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. But if I were to reply to somebody saying Jesus is, I don't know, Christ is king or something like that, it would be fine. Nobody would have a problem with that, me laughing at it, right? Hypothetically. But this, I could go to jail now. So the next live stream will be from prison, right? Crazy. AFC Manicure says, okay, we should all start calling the police every time we hear someone say Alan Snack Bar. Or inshallah. Nick says, I'm becoming more and more disgusted with policing in this country. Who put idiots in charge of what was once an upstanding force? It all started slowly over the last few decades, and now it's all imploding everywhere. It's not just the policing, it's academia, the cultural institutions, the media, civil service, the NHS, everything at the same time. Deadpool says, I'm a Muslim, but I condemn the UK police for banning Christians from saying what they want. The F is wrong with those MF UK police. Are they Islamic Brotherhood organization from Qatar, Turkey, Iran? Well done, Deadpool 007. That's the right attitude. Someone who was born in the Islamic family or whatever can still oppose this. And we need more of this. Those who call themselves, I've been saying this for such a long time now, those who call themselves cultural Muslims, or westernized Muslims, or just basically they were born in an Islamic family, or it's just their own personal view, whatever but they don't want to impose it on you. They need to come out. They need to, like Deadpool 007, they need to speak out. You can't just completely rely on ex-Muslims. Ex-Muslims are brave. It's not easy to be an ex-Muslim because, and they speak out, and that there are a number of those who call themselves obviously cultural Muslims. They speak out, but more and more are needed. Otherwise, people are going to get angry and they're going to put everybody in the same category. So if you believe, even if you're somehow Islamic but living in the West, living in the United Kingdom, wherever you are, there have been a couple of others as well who were from Islamic families, and they came out and said, well, we came here because we wanted to be British, we wanted to be Western, and not to bring the Muslim Brotherhood mentality, a Taliban mentality into the UK. They need to come out and speak out more. Because if you think this is your country now, if you've integrated, if you want to live in a country with these values, the Western values, then you cannot change it. You cannot allow the 7th century ideology to take over, because it will just change. It will no longer be this Britain. And those who say, yeah, it's good because we don't like the British set of values or culture, then why did you come all the way from Pakistan or Afghanistan or Syria or whatever it was? It was fine there. You had your values that you liked. What was the problem then? Oh, because you can make money here and you can take money as well. Why couldn't you do it there? Oh, it's because the Islamic economic policies and cultural policies and societal policies that comes from the 7th century doesn't actually create prosperity or any sort of level of freedom. So you're going to have to come to the West to make the money and then turn it into a Muslim Brotherhood sort of society. And then what are you going to do then? Next place? You're going to end up with the whole all the continents turn into Afghanistan right now, 2024 Afghanistan, then you're just going to have Antarctica left and probably Mars. You're going to go colonize Mars now. Go back to some super chat. Nancy from Canada says radical religions that hide behind their so-called religion to justify their abusive behavior is not honor killing, it's murder. Yeah, it shouldn't be called honor killing. Lily says, Maya, I really hope to see you next week. I'm coming down for the day to Stuart. I'm hoping most people will have the courage and bravery to come out. Bruce, remember who you are. Yeah, this is about our rally protest on the 26th of October. Make sure, guys, if you are watching this from the UK, I hope to see you guys next Saturday. I will be there, of course. I will be making my speech and everything else, and I'll be reporting this live stream for those who can't make it as well. Spaceman says, because of onion rings. Onion rings. The more they push, the more it will have the opposite effect that they want. I've always been atheist and agnostic, but now seriously considering baptism. Welcome to the dark side. Dark side. That was ironic, by the way. The light side. Welcome to the club. Enoch says, can I get an annual refund? The Discord is full of feds. Discord is full of feds. We don't do, obviously, refunds, but you can cancel your account if you want to. Also, the membership is not for Discord. The membership is for 2CTV Plus for the premium shows and documentaries. Bamban says, the police's rep will never recover from this. Yes, I agree. Candace says, please protect Bamban. Not seen him recently. Because, yeah, he's downstairs. I'll bring him up one day, don't worry. Actually, if you want to see more Bamban, the best thing you can do is follow me on Instagram. I'm back on Instagram now. Maya_2C. There are a couple of fake Mayas, but I think you can tell which one's me. Maya_, not dash, 2C. TOUSI. All right. Linda says, I have a George Cross Pin badge by British by birth, English by the grace of God. Am I safe from the Stasi police? No, you're literally a terrorist now, so it's definitely not safe. Carolyn says, Maya, look after yourself and God bless you. That is very controversial. How dare you? Alex, I think, has joined the live stream quite late. It says, I'm sorry, this cannot be true. It's got to be a piss take, surely. Yeah, feel free, if you joined us later, to rewind back to the beginning of the live stream to check out the report and the evidence that we had. But obviously on 2CTV, we'll continue to keep you guys informed about all the things that the mainstream media is refusing to report. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.